Bezat Hashem, with Hashem's loving grace, welcome to Amunah Beams with your host, Lazer Brody. Today's podcast is entitled, Louis Pasteur and the Wisdom of Torah. People think there's a discrepancy between science and Torah. Since the Torah is the Almighty's blueprint for creating the world, all true scientific knowledge is in the Torah. Many of our sages, such as the Gaon of Vilna and the Shatzer Rov of London, the Chazon Ish, were mathematical and scientific geniuses, but they never opened a secular book in their lives. Eminent French scientist Louis Pasteur, who lived from 1822 to 1895, he had cogent powers of observation. Now, he wasn't Jewish, but he came to recognize the wealth of scientific knowledge in the Torah. History refers to Louis Pasteur as the father of microbiology. He was famous for his revolutionary findings in the causes of and prevention of disease. He created the first vaccines for rabies and anthrax. His best-known innovation was pasteurization, named after him. That was his heat treatment method for preventing bacterial contamination in milk and wine. Well, few people are aware that Pasteur owes his monumental development of vaccines to Talmudic knowledge. More than 15 centuries before he was born, the Talmud describes how administering a weak form of disease to humans could cause immunity to its virulent version. Rabbi Dr. Israel Michel Rabinowitz, he lived from 1818 to 1893, he was a scion of a distinguished family of rabbis and Talmudic scholars. He himself was an ordained rabbi who studied in the best Lithuanian yeshivas before he went to Paris to pursue medical studies. He earned a medical degree in 1865, but he never practiced medicine. Instead, he embarked on a project to translate the Talmud into French. While he was living in Paris, Rabbi Dr. Rabinowitz became close friends with Louis Pasteur, to whom he showed some of his Talmudic translations, especially those that deal with science and medicine. One particular Talmudic discussion grabbed Pasteur's attention. This was the Gemara tractate Yoma 83b that describes the 5 signs of a rabid dog. Those 5 signs are an open mouth, dripping saliva, the dog's tail between its legs, an abnormal gait, and droopy ears. What even more fascinated Pasteur was the Talmudic cure for rabies. The Gemara says that if someone was bitten by a rabid dog, one should feed him the lobe of that rabid dog's liver. Well, dog liver, of course, is not kosher, but a person may use it as a cure to save a life, what we call pikuach nefesh. This is especially so in the case of rabies, which is often fatal, heaven forbid. So from the Talmud's wisdom, in the case of the rabid dog, Louis Pasteur concluded that a person could cure infectious ailments by introducing small amounts of an infection into a body, whether bird, animal, or human. That infected body would produce antibodies that fight a major onslaught of the same infectious organism. Well, Louis Pasteur tested his theory by subjecting chickens to a mild form of cholera. As a result, the chickens successfully developed immunity to cholera. Well, Pasteur went on to successfully create cholera, anthrax, and rabies vaccines, which paved the way for many additional vaccines, all thanks to the timeless wisdom of the Torah. As the blueprint of the world, the Torah is also the source of sustenance for the world. As such, it will be never rescinded or replaced. Well, many people, including governments, claim that a person can't get a proper education without secular studies. Well, the claim should be exactly opposite. A person can't develop a proper mind without Torah studies. God bless always.